And you can see at this point, I was 1643. I got to 1643 with just these games at 18-3. And the reason why our rating's so low while having like so many wins is because, like, remember, most of the players we played against were like 1500 or like 1480. So like we're in the 1600s. Like if we lose one game, we lose like 40 points. And that's what happened with like the 3 losses I had. I had like 100 more points than all of those people. So I lose a ton for losing, and I only get like 8 or 9 points for winning. We're 18-3, and this is my. I stopped playing there. So I went and I won 6 games, and I stopped playing, and I decided to come back, and I was like, you know what? I just need one more win. I just need one more win, right? So let's try and get it. And so I walk into this in testing was a matchup. I have a 0 win rate against Lando, Zacian, and Kingdra. 0 win rate, straight up. I have nothing for this. I talked about how Lando Zacian is really hard. I actually just can't deal with Kingdra with this team. I have Zard, Entei, Zekrom. They don't even need the Zacian. They don't even need the Lando. I cannot deal with the existence of a Kingdra. I cannot. I have absolutely no counter for it. But I'm still trying my best. Still trying my best here. And again, this is a good player playing Lando, Kingdra, Zacian, which I think is a really, really good team. I like this team a lot. I think Kingdra is so good. I've said that since like the day it came out in Isle of Armor. Kingdra's busted. I've always liked Kingdra, and I'm thinking to myself, like, the only way I win this is if they mess up. So like I have to go with eject button plays. Like I straight up have to go with some sort of weird eject button play. If I can deal with that Kingdra, like I have to deal with. Usually what happens when it's like Zacian, I can ignore the Zacian, and then if I can intimidate the Lando, I can get the Lando into a point where I can ignore it. But like having the Kingdra on that team makes it so like if I ever want to worm win the Kingdra, they just switch in the Zacian, and I'm like, ah. And if I want to like go for, it's such a hard match. If I ever want to electric attack the Politoad, they switch in the Lando, and it's like, oh my gosh. And it's Rizzo protects Zacian against fire moves. Like this is like probably, again, I've tested against a lot of teams, and this is one team that every single time I tested against it, I got nothing. I had absolutely nothing for this. And, you know, sometimes it do be like that. You know, when you go to a tournament, you are going to have bad matchups. A perfect example is one time I was playing a tournament in 2014. It was technically the very start of the 2015 regionals, but it was 2014 format still. It was like in like August. It was like one of the fall regionals. And it was using the 2014 rules. And I made a team that I was like, cool, this team has an absolutely amazing win rate. I feel like I can win the tournament. It was like Garchomp, Salamence, Kang, Talonflame, Follow Me Lucario back when that was a thing, and then like Rotom Heat. And it was really good. I was like, I can win this tournament. But the only bad matchup I have is Mamoswine. And I remember I made Top Cut, and I went 6-2 into Top Cut. My only 2 losses were to Scarf Mamoswine. And so there are matchups that like Pokemon, there is no perfect Pokemon team ever. And so basically, you kind of have to just realize that and realize that like sometimes it do be like that. You can try your best, but like, look at this matchup. If I want to go for anything, if I want to Wyrmwind either of these Mons, what am I going to ignore the fucking Kingdra? If I go for the Wyrmwind on the if I go for the Wyrmwind onto the Lando slot, because I need to, they switch in the Politoad and then just dumps me with the Kingdra. If I go for the Dragon Attack into the Kingdra, they just max the freaking Lando and just dumpster my Zekrom and start getting special D-boost. It's a lose-lose, right? It's a lose-lose. And then this guy also plays 1,000,000,000% perfect. He plays so well. So I can't even be upset. When you build teams, you have bad matchups. You have unwinnable matchups. But the ability is like how well you can fine-tune your other matchups to cover those holes. What you got to do is just pray, right? Also, I went for the switcheroo play that turn. It was like really not great. Any Swords Dance, it's like, oh my god. Oh, look at that, look at that. You like my turn 1? Very bad. So yeah, Protect's on cooldown. Swords Dance Lando on the board. So this is what I mean. Like, this is what I mean by good players. Like, for those guys watching me thinking, like, that's his team is so freaking good. Like, he always says it's, like, not that great. And then, like, he always says you just got to wait him out. It's like, just wait me out. Like, seriously. Like, slow me down. This is even the good situation that I like being in with Lando and Zacian. But it's not. Because, like, my Protect's on cooldown and the Lando has +2. So it's like, there's nothing I do in that situation. I also don't have a +2 of my own. So I can't even, like, one-shot their Maxmons. You know the Lando's max in that situation. And the thing about Kingdra is it's still a threat. It's still a threat regardless of whether it's max or not. Because Draco Meteor is going to be the same power as even the max Kingdra. And Kingdra's not like that bulky to where like if I were to hit Kingdra with a dragon attack at +2, it's going to die regardless of if it's a max mode or not. So this really smart max in this Lando here, playing to the fact you're already at +2. He's also still max guarding. Do you see how good this man is? He's so nice. He's even blocking the switcheroo there. Like, he knows exactly what to do in this situation. Goes for a big behemoth blade. And I had to get my Zekrom out of there. I could not just sit there and eat that +2. Like, this is what I mean when to beat my team, to beat me playing this team, you just need to wait me out. You're sacrificing when you're max turn to max guard. That's so safe. That's so smart. And I'm like, fucking, I'm not having a good time. I'm having a very bad time right now. But I send the Zekrom out. I'm not going to scoop yet. I still have shots. You know, crits are a thing in the game. Misses are a thing in the game. And remember, I almost won that one game that I came back with like encores and things like that. I almost came back and won. And I gotta try my best. Gotta play to my outs. And I think right now playing to my outs would probably be like, I should max guard. If I'm not max guarding, I'm so bad at Pokemon. I should max guard because I don't want him to get plus. I don't want him to get plus. I'm trying to talk to myself. Don't let that guy get a max Quake boost on your Zekrom. You're gonna take like half your HP. Yeah. Let's just see what I do. So I should be maxing. Do I not? I didn't even see what I did. Anyways, this is not a good game for our hero, but I'm trying my best. I know that the only way I can win this game is like TR, and so I think I try and get TR up. I don't remember. But we're maxing the Zekrom. Better late than never, right? Comfey protects. Yeah, I think I do I protect Comfey and attack with Zekrom? That's so greedy. That's so greedy. And he actually doesn't care. He actually doesn't care about my Comfey. Like, how greedy is that? He behemoth blades my Zekrom in the face. I think he thought I was going to ally switch. Because you can see he max Quakes. I think he max Quakes the Comfey slot. I think he was really expecting ally switch there. Which I did not do. And so I'm trying to wait out his max turns. I'm trying my best. He now gets his what is it? His special defense boost, which sucks for me. I got no boost out of that. And it's rough. Now the Lando's only at +1. The Zacian's at -1, though, so that's nice. So Lando, dummy thick, tells me he's probably vested, too, by how well he actually ate that. Actually, he's not vested. He's just really thick, because we saw him use Max Guard. And Swords Dance. That was pretty tough, Swords Dance. He tried to play around it. And now he Max Guard his last turn of Max. And so I'm like still in a really, really bad spot. I'm still in like the worst spot imaginable. But I almost want to say I do have shots to come back in this game. Because I'm going to have one turn where I have Max and he doesn't. I'm going to have that one big turn and that's my shot to win the game. So we're going to tunnel him into attacking the Zekrom slot. We know he's Behemoth Blade in the Comfey thing to get that thing off the board. And even if like he went for the double into the Comfey, which I actually would have done in that situation, because it would have covered the ally switch, it would have covered the protect TR, would have covered pretty much everything. He goes with Max Quake into the Zekrom, and we take those. So we're playing to our outs right now. We have that one big turn Max, and another thing is if that Lando wants to do anything, right? Zacian's going to protect, he's going to Earthquake, right? We have to play to that. And I don't know if +1 Lando takes out Entei. I don't think that it does. So I'm thinking about this, I was like, I have shots to win this game. I have major shots to win this game right now. But we'll see. We will see. Because if we get the Lando back down to minus or to neutral, maybe we can do something. We're also switching in our Comfey to make it so we can go for foil healings and things like that. Comfey can also soak Earthquake better than Entei can in this situation. I think. So there's the protect. Trying our absolute best right now. There's the EQ. Yes, it's going to proc our policy, remember? That's what we were waiting for the whole game. Comfey dies, which I was like, fuck. I was like, that's going to be game. That's probably going to lose it for me. Because I thought Comfey was going to live. I thought Comfey was going to live so much. I was like, I have such a good shot if Comfey lives. But, raid boss down. This Zacian is now at -1. The Landorus is gone. And I'm like, oh crap. Do I win? Because he has Kingdra. And I'm like, all right, well, like, Kingdra can miss Draco Meteor. Kingdra can totally miss Draco Meteor. Do I win? if you miss Draco Meteor, that game's over. The game's absolutely over. If you miss Draco Meteor, the game is donezo. You have absolutely no way. I can take out your Zacian with either of my Mons. Your Zacian is, again, at -1. We're going for Sacred Fire just to keep it honest. And then I'm looking at this, I'm like, if you miss Draco, and I hit mine, I win. Like, what do you got in the back? Politoed? I don't care. And so he switches to the Zacian for Politoed, which is predictable. Totally fine, by the way. Ain't nobody got a problem with that. And so I'm like, cool. Roll those dice. It's been a good day for me. Can you miss Draco? He cannot. He can not miss Draco. So we lose. If I would have had that if my Comfort would have lived and I would have had 4-0 healing, might have been a different game actually. Who knows? Our Zekrom's really, really thick on the specialty side. It's full HP investment. He is orbed. I think we would have went down regardless. But like, you really never know. And again, for how behind I was in the worst matchup imaginable, if you were to tell me from the team preview, I'm like, hey, man, you got a 1 in 10 chance in winning, and that 1 in 10 is missed up a Draco miss, I'd take it. I'd be like, yep, not even play the game. Don't even go into the leads. Give me the 1 in 10. You sold that perfectly, making me think they missed. Yo, that's mean. I'm a good storyteller. But yeah, we take that L. We totally take that L. And again, it's an L that was calculated. It was predetermined. 18-4, not nearly as cool as 18-3. I agree, but sometimes I do be like that. So 16-30. This is the strongest player we fought in the whole tournament. And so remember what I talked about, how I'm trying to play players that aren't in the 1600s, and I just got off of a loss. I was on a huge win streak. I just took a big L. And so this also, I'm actually playing these games around 2 p.m. Does it show that I'm playing better players? Because I am. I decided to deviate from my playing at 9 a.m. I'm playing at like 2 p.m. just because I only needed one more game. I needed one more win. And that loss dropped me down to like, I was like 1543. That dropped me down to like 1528. And so I was like, now I need like 2 or 3 more wins. Yeah, turned into 3 needed wins, yes. And more Zacian, more Lando. So I'm like, Zacian, Lando, why you gotta do this to me? It's so hard. But Sun can be a matchup I have a good matchup against. Entei kind of just says, oh, cool, you want to use Sun? If I get rid of your Lando, not a single one of your Mons can do any damage to me. So we're going to try our best. And like I've talked about, I actually really struggle with holding those Ls. Normally, I actually take a big break after like a regional. When I'm playing at like a regional, if I take a loss, I'll go out and I'll like review my notes. I'll get some water. I'll get some fresh air. I'm one of those guys that like, don't talk to me after I take an L. An L that, like, I didn't think I should have taken. That last one, I knew I was going to take it, so I wasn't in that bad of a mood. But, like, I take these things really seriously. I try really, really hard for these games, and so when I take those Ls, I have to completely, like, reset my mental, just like my attitude, I guess. And it takes a long time, and I listen to music, I get some water. I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't know how I really deal with this, but, like, the Whimsicott Zekrom play worked against Lando in the past, and also I decided to go. I decided this is a good player. Do you guys remember what the last good player did? He led with eject button Whims. And I'm like, are you going to eject button Grim me? Because the Sash would be on your Venusaur on this team. And if you leave Venusaur, that means your wide lines, which means we'll do the exact same play we did last time. If they go like Venusaur Lando, where we went like Protect Zekrom, Trick Room, and then we're fine. So this is good. This is good. If they go Venusaur Lando, we know that they're wide lens. And if they go Grim, that means they're eject button, right? They are eject button Grim. If they lead Grim against us, they're doing it to trick us in eject button. Hundo percento. And the one thing that would never happen, right, is like they could totally go Grim Zacian, they can go Grim Lando, they can go Grim Venusaur. You would not bring Zard to this. Am I wrong? How do you run it? You'll see in a minute. I would never. Well, the one thing about my team, the one Pokemon that has absolutely no business existing in a game versus my team is Charizard. So imagine the look on my face when I see them lead Grimmzard into the Zekrom Entei Charizard player. And I'm like, okay, I see this. I see what you're doing. I see exactly what you're doing here. What you're going to do is you're going to trick the eject button up onto me. You're going to switch out the Zard for the Lando, and the next turn you're going to sucker punch me. It's so smart. You're such a good player. And I'm not going to fall for that. I'm not falling for that, okay? I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I'm about to just Draco Meteor your damn Lando switch in. But you know what? Like, do I do that? Oh shit, do I actually do that? That's so, no, I do it. I do that. Yeah, and I decided to just Drain and Kiss the Grim. I Drain and Kiss the Grim. Because I can just hit it before he tricks me, right? There's no way that Zard's just gonna max in front of a Zekrom, right? There's no way that you max in front of a Zekrom. I'm a Zekrom. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You wildfire my Zekrom? Like, no, you're not gonna wildfire my Zekrom. So, he's maxing, and I'm like, what? And I'm thinking like, he's maxing. Is he maxing the Grim? Am I getting G-Max snoozed right now? Because there ain't a world where like Max Zard thinks that he's the sauce versus a freaking Zekrom. That doesn't exist. That's not a thing. And I'm tilted. Remember, I lost against the Kingdra guy, and I'm like, these JP players at 2 p.m. they be hitting different, right? They're built different. And we'll see what happens here. But I do know for a fact he's not eject buttoning me. That's not happening. Not today. Not in my house. That already happened to me once today. That's not happening anymore. He's also just not eject button. So he max guards, and I was like, okay. You just max bait Jazard. Wait. Actually, I thought that I hit the Grim. I should have hit the Grim. I regret not hitting this Grim. I should have hit the Grim. I actually really should have. I thought that I did. I actually think that might have been a misclick, and that I wanted to hit the Grim. He Spirit Breaks me. That's fine. I don't care about that. But I really thought that I hit the Grim, and like, I should have just hit the Grim. Like, looking back at this, he Spirit Break me anyways. Like, he would have procced my policy anyways. I should have just hit the damn Grim. Just throwing that out there. And so I'm thinking to myself, like, I guess he's not eject button. But he also didn't screen. He didn't do anything. And so I was like, are you just like bad? Because like, I am a Zekrom. Is he gonna switch in? Like, is he gonna switch in now? Switch in the Lando now off his max and waste all of his max turns? Like, what are you doing here? What are you doing, my guy? I'm also at minus. I'm also only at +1. It's going pretty well, yeah. He sets his light screen, so he knows, right? He knows. That's why he Spirit Break me. He went out of his way. So right now there's a light screen, and I'm only at +1. I'm at +1 and a light screen. He's like airstreaming me. I'm like, bro, get off me. You stupid Zard that has no, like, light screen, right? And, what is it? Light, yeah. Like, look how much damage you still take. Look. That's what you signed up for. He signed up for that. He's like, I will Spirit Break him and set a light screen. I know he's running this team, and you still, like, just about freaking died. Like, that's what he wanted. That's what he wanted. So at this point, I'm like, this man is just crazy, right? He's just crazy. He's just nuts. And, I'm looking at myself, I'm like, I think we switch in the Entei because I higher base specialty in case he wants to wildfire. Because you know he's going to wildfire, and you want to be able to stick the, make it so the wildfire's not doing as much damage. But you know he's wildfiring this turn. And so I'm thinking to myself, like, I know there's a Lando back there. I know there's a Zacian. But, like, if the Lando can't max, I don't give a shit. Because, like, wildfire won't do any damage to our Entei. We dummy thick. And again, I think he was expecting the ally switch here. Just because you're gonna see what happens. He goes for the Spirit Break. Strange Cap came. That's what this is. Yep. So the big max Zard. Nice try, my guy. So Lightning into the Grim. Pretty decent damage, actually. Considering I'm only at +1 and he has a light screen up, it's pretty decent damage. And he outspeeds me because he has an Airstream, so like I'm big sad right now. I don't want to eat any more of those. I would rather not. I'm not in maximum anymore either. Like, I'm big sad. This is a weird situation to be in. But remember, the Zard is orbed, so like I don't really need to care about it, like, at all. Like, at all. So I'm like, we just gotta get the Grim off the board. It sucks that I might lose my Entei this turn. But then I'm like, well, I just bring out Comfy and win the game. Right? Just bring out Comfy and win the game. You're gonna see the craziest game here now. You're gonna see the craziest game you've ever seen in your life. It's gonna happen. It's gonna start right here. This is gonna blow your mind. Thunder Wave into my Entei. And I'm like, that sucks. I thought he was gonna Spirit Break me because he had speed. And then he Ancient Powers me, and I'm like, that sucks. He does get KO'd by his life force, but not before he gets an Ancient Power boost. And I'm like, well, this guy He's just built for RNG. He's just straight built for RNG. He got that ancient power boost just to flex on me. And then Entei's paralyzed. We should start a paralyzed counter. Zekrom's ticking out. Entei's fully paralyzed. That Grim should be gone. He still has his screens. And remember, I just needed one win. I just needed one win. And it's getting out of reach. There's the Zacian. And I'm like, everyone dislikes this. So I'm thinking to myself, like, again, Rising Voltage is the right play. If you switch in Lando, you're just an absolute beast. And I think we just double that and we just ignore the Grim. Because, like, what's it going to do? Spirit Break? I mean, I can't stop that, right? If I can stick damage into the Zacian, you also double on the Zacian to punish him going for Substitute, right? Because you want to be able to break the sub and then KO with Sacred Fire. Because now we're slower than our Zekrom. Was Grim range of E-Speed? It's not, because our Entei only has 28 points. So that's a good question. That's a great question. It's not within range of E-Speed. And again, it didn't matter, really. So it was for a Reflect now. And I'm like, great. Dual screens. Sacred Sword into the Zekrom. Remember, the thing that's actually taking damage from the Wildfire. Not too great. Rising Voltage comes in hot right now. Not enough damage, though, because of the light screen. Sacred Fire connects. Oh, man, it's looking good for us. It's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. Zacian's down. Like, his Max is down. His Zacian's down. It's like, okay, cool. We got this. And then I remember, Wildfire's ticking, and Zekrom actually is slower than the Grim. You just Spirit Break the Grim, and then or Spirit Break the Zekrom, and it'll die. So I'm like, crap. And then Torkoal comes out, and I was like, because I thought it was Lando. The whole game I'm like playing around Lando, and I'm like, I don't want to deal with this Torkoal. That's so weird. I don't want to, because I'm switching. I have to switch. I don't want to switch it on an Eruption. No one likes that. I'm like, well, time to switch in on an Eruption. Yeah, I'm like, I had to do it. So, and at this point, I'm like, I should still Sacred Fire. If I get the Grim off the board, I will win. Right, I will get, and and E-Speed doesn't do it. So switch in the Zard. And remember how we're Blaze Zard? Do you guys remember how we're Blaze Zard? That's going to be really important. Just for a Spirit Break on the switch. He hits the Entei slot, which I was like, what? He ignored my Zekrom. He critical hit my Entei. Oh, man. And then Entei's fully paralyzed once again. And I'm like, are you freaking real? Can you not? Can you not fully paralyze me a million times? And so I really thought about going for Helping Hand E-Speed, but I was like, it doesn't matter because if he's paralyzed, right? So I'm not going to waste my time. I'm thinking about it. I'm like, do I just E-Speed this Entei? Or sorry, E-Speed the Torkoal? I'm thinking about it. Like, I'm going to try and go for the E-Speed here. You're going to see what happens. So, Charizard's going to go for Protect. I'm just waiting for my Zekrom to come back out, or the Comfey, or literally anything. Entei paralyzed again. And then Thunder Waves, I'm like, stop Thunder Waving me. But also, look at this. He body presses. Entei dies. Entei. Never lucky. And he crit me. Never lucky Entei. That's right. And so I'm like, cool. As long as I get... And so, by the way, my Zard would have taken, like, probably 40% of its health just from Solar Power right now. So if everyone's saying, like, why aren't you Solar Power? I mean, that's why I'm not Solar Power. I would be dead if I was Solar Power. I would be absolutely deceased. He would have ticked out most of my health with Solar Power by now. So Comfey's going to protect because I don't want to just eat anything like that. There's the Thunder Wave again. And I'm like, oh my god, can we not have this happen? If I get the Grim off the board, Zekrom outspeeds Torkoal and we win the game. Charizard's fully paralyzed. Like, I'm like, no! Can you not? And I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm just going to Drain Kiss this Grim because it'll keep me out of range of Burning Jealousy, but it won't KO the Grim. It would have if I ever stuck, like, a freaking... If I would have ever stuck any damage in the Grim with, like, any of the E-Speeds or any of the, like, 3 Sacred Fires I put into it. And this guy, remember, this guy that got the Ancient Power Flex, he crit me twice. This guy, and he's the guy that just led Zard into Zekrom, and I'm like, what a guy. He's thinking, too. He's like, I can get out of this. Stupid Grim Snarl guy. So we're trying our best here. Comfy getting some health back. There's the spirit break. Oh, it's so sad. There's the heat wave. Miss. I hit the Grim. I missed on the Torkoal, which sucks. There's the Burning Jealousy. But man. Oh, that was... And there's a screen up the whole time. Like, it was hard, man. That was just freaking hard. That didn't need to be so hard. Yeah, we're just gonna chill. We're gonna let Zard soak more. Again, we would have, like, lost the Zard just to, like, solar power damage, right? I want you guys to understand that. Like, this is why we're Blaze. Because we want to be able to wall the fire types. Fully paralyzed again. He thought I was going to switch. That's why he yawned. I will not switch. I will not switch. Not yet. Sunlight finally fades. That seriously would have been 50. I would have been at 30%. And that Grim could have ever just used like a foul play and taken me out. 5 pairs. That's right. So whenever people say like, oh, I'm so unlucky, it's like, me too. So we know that we're probably going to lose Comfey relatively soon. Charizard, 6. Parallel, again. Again. Another one. And another one. And I'm like, I'm actually like freaking out here. Because I was like, this is giving me throwbacks to like a tournament one time. One time I played a tournament. Watch my absolute flex here, by the way. Biggest flex I've ever done. I know that Comfey's going to get put to sleep. You can tell me by like fidgeting with those moves that like I'm freaking stressed out. One time I played a tournament. It was the grand finals of the tournament. And the winner got a copy of Gen 5 back when it came out. So it was the last tournament, Gen 4. Winner got a brand new copy of Pokemon Black or White. It came down to the finals. It came down to my Dragonite versus an Electivire, and I was paralyzed 11 turns in a row off one Thunder Punch. And I was getting vibes because I was like, not like this. But I know for a fact that like Torkoal can't do anything to Zekrom. If I get one boost off, you got nothing. If I get one full healing off, you got nothing. And then we win. But you could tell like I'm fidgeting with my moves. It was in a row. By the way, I was just trying to click extreme speed. This Electivire it's at 1 HP. It's at 1 HP. I'm just trying to click E-speed. Just clicking the E-speed. Just clicking it. 11 turns in a row. And I lost. I lost that game. I didn't lose this one. I didn't lose this one. How to make it for 11 turns? He was double intimidated and I had leftovers. So he was doing about 8 HP more than I healed. Yeah, but then we win. Because we switch in Zard now and then we're fine. But yeah, it was definitely giving me flashbacks to that. And I was in front of a huge crowd of people. I felt so bad. That one like broke my soul. That broke me really bad. That's probably one of the hardest losses I've ever taken. But not this one. No, we won this. We won this one. It's the universe telling me to never go to a casino. That's telling me to never try to fight. Also, we got like thunder punched to break our multi-scale to get parried too. So it was all bad. Yeah, the way that happened is like I went for the EQ with Dragonite, clocked his sash, he thunder punched me, and then paralyzed me, and then I was like, cool, E-speed, 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 he just kept thunder, and I just died. Anyways, we won that one. We won that one. We won against that stupid paraplegic destruction. Anyways, we're 19-4. And we're back where we started. You know, we took that loss to the Kingdra team, which was hard. It was really hard. And then we won that game, and I'm like, I should not play anymore. I should just be fine. But also, I'm like 2 points lower than I was. So now, like right now, I'm at like 15-41. So, I go into this game. And this guy, Gladio, I actually think this is someone we played. I think this is someone in our Discord. And I'm like, crap. That means they know my team. Because it's that Gladion guy that's in our Discord. I'm thinking. And he's a pretty good rating. And then I'm like, I win. Like, if there was one game in this whole tournament, you guys remember the game that I played against, like, the Dracovish team that didn't have a restricted? That's free. Sorry, 1641. Yeah, 1641. And I go into this, and I'm like, I'm not one of those guys that likes to think, I may come off as really confident. I'm looking at this, I'm like, there's no way in hell that I lose this matchup, right? There's no way in hell that I lose this at all. There's no way in hell. It shouldn't be possible for me if I'm playing even halfway right. I mean, I guess I get Thunderwaved by Grimmsnarl, but I should just roll this over, right? Your board is Rilla Ferrothorn, and I have Entei Zord. Could you walk me through the steps to max out a legendary EV-wise? Not right now. We're going over these EVs. We're going over this game right now. But yeah, looking at this on paper, I'm like, I guess the only thing they could do is like be Policy Togekiss and max it. But no, they're not. You know, I'm like, I don't care what you do. And so I'm like, this should be free. And remember, this is all I need. But this is like a pretty high-ranked player. And I'm like, and I think that they know my team because they're in my Discord. I was like, there's a couple fairies there, which really dissuades me from going for... There's 3 fairies, which dissuades me from ever going for Wormwinds, which you need to stick 1 Wormwind onto a Dustmane. You need to stick 1 Wormwind onto a Dustmane to make it so it can't ever do anything. But watch what happens. Where's the Fire-type counter? Yeah, I mean, there isn't one. I almost thought of Ergenzard. I was like, no. Like, let me think about it. I'm like, Whimsicott is so good here. It's good. Because, like, that team is all set up. Ferrothorn gets Protect, Leech Seed, Iron Defense, Comfey gets, like, Decorates, Togekiss gets Follow Me's, Real Boom can be Oncred into Fake Out, like, Whimsicott. Whimsicott. We just win the game. Whimsicott, right? We're not comrades. He's in my Discord. I don't know anything about his team. He just has the info on me. So it's not really comrades. He's the guy that came into my Discord. And I don't think it's this guy. But I'm in my head when I'm playing this game, I think it is. It's the guy that beat me in a game where I was using a joke team and then came and like gloated about it in our Discord. So not even someone I'm a big fan of. Anyways, going to this game. And again, I don't think it's that guy. They just have, it's a similar name of a trainer in the game. So Grimmsnarl and Crozman. So I'm thinking, I'm like, all right, I just got to not throw. I just got to like not throw and like I'll probably be fine. And so how do you not throw here? Like what would you guys do in this situation? What would you do? Because I'm thinking, I'm like, man, that Grimm, if he was eject button, that would suck. That's how we lose. I don't care if you want to trick room me, I'm probably slower than you. So let's see what you do here. And so I lead terrible, and I'm like, I think we just set terrain and make it so we stick big damage into the Necrozma. Because if you're in a trick room, you're gonna take like half your HP because you're not in your max mode if you're setting TR. So we're gonna punish you for trying to TR. And this is the game where, no, we don't protect. We just want to punish the Necrozma and make it so it's really, really weak. So when it does decide to max, he's already at half. That's the right play. That's by far and away the way that you win. Because this team is all in on Necrozma. For Ivies, you can use bottle caps. So, like, you can make them all best for your Ivies. But yeah, you hit the Grimm with the Draining Kiss to stop the potential eject button. And that's so greedy. Like, that's not greedy. That's so safe. That just shows the level of, like, how tilted I am. Right? Yeah, still has to be with Comfey, yeah. So, like, we're hitting the Grimm with Comfey to get rid of the potential for eject button. And we see the max on the, I think he's maxed in Dustmane this turn. And so, like, I'm totally fine with this. I'm like, cool, you're not going to set TR, which means I probably just outspeed you anyways. And I'll be able to stick damage in before you can get a bunch of boosts. And, like, if you hit the Comfey, you don't KO. If you hit the Zekrom, you proc my policy. So it's, like, right here, I'm like, this is a win-win. Because if you would have actually, like, Swords Dance that turn and put up a light screen, I'd be, like, really sad. But we see Draining Kiss. And I'm like, ha, I will get rid of your eject button. And then, there's no eject button. So I was like, all right, he's normal. And he light screens. I was like, see, this is why I'm thinking this is the guy in my Discord. Because he knows. He watched the content. Like, why would you know that I was Special Zekrom right now? There's no reason to know there's no reason for you to know that I'm Special Zekrom. And I'm like, crap, that didn't do any damage. That's very bad. I was expecting that to do twice as much damage for the most part. It did set terrain. That's pretty nice. But, and then he quakes. And I was like, he fucking knows, you know? And then he didn't even hit the freaking Zekrom. So it's like, he knows. It's this guy. Special is quite common on Zekrom. I would disagree. We played, how many games? 20 and 4? Only one other person has done this. We fought that guy that will-o-wisp me like 4 times. Everyone, the thing is like, I would say it's quite common on Zekrom if you're playing at like rank 100. See, Zekrom's more commonly, if you were to go like into the usage data, it's still more commonly physical, especially at the history of this Pokemon. I'm not saying it's the biggest brain thing to ever be special. Aaron Zhang used a special Zekrom team. Another guy used a special Zekrom team. But most players would, like, say it's special. Sorry, most players say it's physical. So anyways, but he knows. He white screened and quaked in my face and didn't even proc my policy. And I'm like, this guy, man, he knows. And so the only thing I can do is just try and stick more damage. Just try and stick more damage. And watch what happens here. This guy's full of surprises. This is actually my saving grace. What do you think he does? What do you guys think he does? What do you guys think he does? What do you guys think he does? If you were him and you had a light screen, it's pretty much shown that I'm special by how much damage that didn't do. And my Comfey's almost gone. Like, what would you do? See, Cybertron features Zekrom, people might know, but like most Zekroms aren't still special. Just because Cybertron did it doesn't mean it's like the meta, right? He used a rental team. Anyways, what do you guys think he does? Because he's played really well so far. Let's see if he keeps it up. It's funny. Look at this. So that was my max move, right? See, I think he puts Reflect up. I would Reflect here. I proc my policy. I crit myself. I still think Reflect here is good. I think Reflect here would be much better than what he did. If I was him, I would have reflected for days. Look how much damage you did with that sucker punch. I don't care about your policy, my guy. I don't care about your policy. Like, thank you so much. Anyways, now we have terrain boosted damage too. So like, now, because he sucker punched like 30% of his health away, he's kind of within range for stuff. And he hits the Zekrom this turn, he's a +2. Not dead. Still alive. Staying alive. And remember, if you remember correctly, we should have enough damage to KO him if he's not in max mode. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, I think we got it. All because he sucker punched. He put himself within that range. I think I max guard here, and I'm looking at this. I should have just protected. It's not a throw, but I should have just protected in case he wanted to hit Comfey. I decided to drain because I thought I might be able to get enough health to let me live a sash, but the correct play here would have been to protect. And basically what we're doing this for is we're going to try and wait out his max turns. And remember, our move, Rising Voltage, does the same amount of damage. It's a 140 in max mode, and it's a 140 with the terrain if they're not in max. So we do the exact same amount no matter if we're in max or if they're not in max, or if we're not in max. And so, but the thing is, their Zekrom has double the health right now if they're in max. So if I wait out their max, I don't care if they're at like +3, 8, 9,000. I don't care if he's sucker punch with the Grim. We're just gonna. I should have went for a protect there so I could have foil healing a player on the sucker punch even more. Again, that is my fault. But I thought I'd be able to get my sash back. I really did. So that's technically still a misplay. But he goes for the Quake and he quakes the Comfey like an absolute Pogchamp, like a straight Pogchamp right here. That was a good play. Because I wouldn't have been able to KO the Zek if the Necrozma if I actually went after it that turn. So he gets a 3rd Quake boost, 3 Quake boosts, and a light screen. But now he's not in max mode anymore, so his health isn't doubled.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
No, we're already done with the qualifiers. So anyways, now he doesn't have max anymore, so we're in a really, really good spot. So we just go Rising Voltage on the Necrozma, and then we foil heal when you get out of the range of Sucker Punch. I mean, it's not super pre-record. Like I'm recasting these games, so it's not like I'm just putting up something that. It's not like I can't see you guys talking. So anyways, we'll foil heal when you play on the Sucker Punch. Pretty good spot. Pretty good spot to be in. And remember, like I said, we do that big damage, and we already know the outspeed is Necrozma here. So like, we're totally fine. He could have went like protect, what is it, Spirit Break, but we would have still been fine. And we take it out because he doesn't have the boost from the double health. And that's really important for Necrozma. And at this point, like, I don't even care. Like, go for it, my guy. You earned it. And I'm actually kind of happy to see Comfey go down because it lets me just bring out good mons. Because I know he has things like Ferrothorn, he has Rillaboom, like Entei is an amazing mon to bring out in this situation. And so now that the Necrozma's gone, it's like, I don't even care. I don't even care what you have. We just double into the Grim. Instead of Reflect if you want. But, I think we're gonna get it. I think we're gonna go get it. So we're waiting on him. So the fact they sent out Crimmy there means I'm thinking his last mon might be some sort of like wall mon. So I'm thinking it's probably Ferrothorn because like I wouldn't have just sent out Ferrothorn raw like that with like Grimmstone as a partner. I would have sent out Alcremie to try to boost the Grim because like Grim's still in a really good spot. Grim has +3 specialty. It has big +3 specialty. We get the big burn. But remember, it underspeeds Zek. So it's like I understand the ability to like say that like Grimmstone is still really good for Zekrom if you can give it a Decorate. And plus he probably thought I was sending out like Zard or maybe even Bronzong in that situation. So like I can understand what the reason to go for the wanting to decorate in that situation. I can completely understand. So that's the first burn of the day. I think I got one other burn earlier, but that's the first burn that like it obviously didn't even matter. And so he sends a Togekiss here. I'm thinking like, okay, this could still be a problem because there is still a light screen up. And so if I miss, straight up, if I miss a Sacred Fire in his Togekiss, and I just like, I don't know, like if I don't kill his Togekiss, because it could still be a Crit Kiss, right? And he goes for a Yawn, I'm like, cool, it's not Crit Kiss, we're fine. Like because like if I missed a Sacred Fire and he gets his big crits, he takes my Zekrom, and then he decorates a Crit Kiss, I would lose. But I don't have to deal with that because we busted. We busted this stupid stupid Necrozma team. The biggest thing going for me was like his Sucker Punch from his Grimmsnarl did so much damage to him, it put him within range. Alright, nice to play getting that Necro. That thing is tough to kill. Yes, I agree. The Comfey's really good. I would still add Comfey, even if it can't proc like a Duskmane. I would still add it. It's still really good. Keeps him unkillable. That's right. So we just switch out there. The reason we're switching out there is we just want to be able to go for... I didn't know what he was going to do. I want to be able to potentially go for Encores. And I think I just wanted to go for the guarantee, like switch back into Entei here. Because remember, Entei was yawned. So, yeah, we're just getting the Entei off the board. Protecting, eject buttoning back for the Entei. And then there's no way that Comfey like ever beats... Not Comfey, Alcremie ever beats Entei in a 1v1. Yeah, I don't even know if that Grim had any investment in attack, but like, that did a lot. That did a lot of damage. That did quite a bit of damage. So Sacred Fire gets the hit. And there's the burn. Yo, we take those all the way to the bank. The big burns from Entei. Rising Voltage, he still has a light screen. Comfey's dummy thick. Not Comfey, Alcremie, I keep doing that. So he doesn't even die. What's your ranking right now? We're in the we're 1650 something. And he gets an Agloff Berry, Dazzling Gleam, Never Lucky Zekrom. Look how much it does to Entei. Doesn't really do anything. Gastrodon would not do well here. That would be very bad. Gastrodon's way too reactive. It doesn't bring anything to the table. I don't need to... I'm not afraid of Kyogre. Or water types for the most part. Like all the water types use AoE attacks anyways. So anyways, we're totally fine though. Of course, when I get close to winning, remember I only need one more win. Of course you get close. And the RNG says like take a chill pill. You just miss a Sacred Fire right in the face. Of course. I was thinking right there, I was like, I missed that Sacred Fire. I was like, it'd be a real dick move for me to like lose my internet right now. And yeah, we're just Dazzling Gleam. And I don't even want to show the E-Speed. No reason to show it at all. Wims can take it out at this point. Because of the burn. How does your team beat Solgaleo team? We beat every single Solgaleo team. We beat every single one of them. I think we're 5-0 versus Solgaleo. Solgaleo can't do anything against our team at all. Yeah, we won. We did, in fact, win. We won. And let's update the win counter. 20-4. I think that's a pretty good record.